our next guests have joined us at the table. It's Kylie and Ryan Pappenbrock, and boy, what a story for this family. And as soon as I said that, Kylie puts her hand on Ryan's leg, because I suspect at times talking about this and going back in time and reliving it a little bit is pretty darn scary. Is that fair to say, Kylie?
Can be.
Can be. Yeah, can be. Ryan, how about for you?
Very much so.
Yeah, I'm going to get you to move the microphone up there. So, Kyle, let's go back. It was, oh my gosh, a year ago? 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right about now, you underwent a C-section. Tell us what happened from there.
Well, I had an embolism during the C-section. I'm going by what I'm told. I don't remember any of this.
I don't remember it.
And my heart and my lungs shut down, and my blood wouldn't clot.
Wow.
And I'm told I received 2.5 hours of CPR so that they can transfer me here to be put on the ECMO machine.
Okay. So it was a scheduled C-section. It was your second child. Now, was it considered a high-risk pregnancy to begin with, or was everything kind of going along fine?
No, I was in the Royal Alex for 5 weeks beforehand on bed rest because I had placenta previa.
Okay, which is what, for folks who don't know?
The placenta was completely covering the cervix, so I couldn't go into a natural labor.
Okay, so
we knew we had to have a C-section, and it was planned at 36 weeks.
And there was no way for the baby to get out naturally, more or less. And so, Ryan, for you, during all of this, knowing, okay, your wife's in the hospital, she's on bed rest, and you're thinking, I'm guessing at that point, that's probably as scary as this should get.
Yeah, it was probably a nice vacation, a little rest for her. We had a 6-year-old or a 4-year-old at the time at home,
okay.
But yeah, it was that was a little scary as it was.
So the notes here in front of me, and as Kylie mentioned, it says at some point during the C-section, Kylie had an amniotic embolism, a rare and life-threatening medical emergency in which amniotic fluid and other matter entered into your bloodstream. So once your baby was born, your son, you were rushed over here to the Maz. You were put on life support for 3 to 5 days. Now, Ryan, were you in the operating room during the C-section? Anything like that?
Yeah, I was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. That was something you'll never forget, seeing.
Absolutely terrifying. And so, did the baby stay at the Alex?
Yeah, our son Jacob stayed at the Alex, and he was there for 3 days after.
Okay, so your baby's there, your wife is here, you have another child at home, so everything probably seemed like it was chaos, spinning totally out of control. Now, when you got back over here, tell us what they told you about Kylie at that point, since you're the one that was there and remembers it.
Well, that day they told us it doesn't look good. They had to put her on the ECMO machine and a machine that helps her lungs function. So she didn't have function of either one of those. And they said the prognosis doesn't look good. The survival rate is very low.
So were you told to prepare to say goodbye or to say your goodbyes or get your head around that? Yeah,
the doctor actually came in and told us if we're religious people, it might not be a bad idea to have a priest here for last rites.
And here we are 2 years later. You're looking fine, looking great. The kids are good. What happened in those days afterwards that got you through it?
The Mazankowski.
The Mazankowski, plain and simple. So what did they do? Did they keep you on the ECMO machine until things cleared up? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I was on it for, how long? Is it 5 days?
Yeah, it's all kind of fuzzy. 3 to 5, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
They had her on the ECMO, and we had issues with her blood coagulating, and they had to give her medication for that to happen. Blood transfusions, we stopped counting. There was a whole bunch of things that it was a whirlwind of everything. But during the whole time, I mean, the doctors and the staff and what they did here was just amazing.
I was just talking. We just had Dr. Singh on just prior to you, and he had said to me, he says, some of the stories and some of the people that come through here, and he specifically mentioned you, knowing that you were coming up next and saying, that it's stories like yours and seeing the kids and seeing you now that, kind of keeps you going in a really high intensity, stress-filled job. What do you say about those doctors?
Well, I'm obviously extremely grateful for them. They saved my life. They saved my daughter and my son and my husband's life. And I don't even have any damage on my heart. I don't have anything lingering from that time. So I have to thank them for that. Because I shouldn't even be alive, let alone not have any.
Nothing. You're fine.
Yeah, damages or ongoing support needed or anything.
How'd they take care of you, Ryan, during all this? Making sure that you knew what was going on, all of that?
Oh, it was phenomenal. I mean, the communication, first and foremost, the medical jargon you don't understand, but, they were very diligent in making sure that I understand on every step, every hour, what was going on, what the steps were, what the best way to go about this was, what my opinions were. They were just phenomenal through the whole situation, right? So, you don't realize how much you need these people until your whole world depends on them, and you've never met them, right? So.
It's amazing when you think, okay, yeah, you're going in to have a baby, you're on bed rest, and then next thing you know, there's people fighting to save your life. And at the end of it all, you come out, the baby's fine, your husband's fine, but you're fine. There's no damage. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So walking back into this building, what's that like for you?
Well, for me, I like it. It's a good experience for me because all I know is that I survived.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the hard stuff, really.
How long before you went home?
I spent a week at the Royal Alex, some in intensive care, and then a few days in just the third floor. Yeah, I was back home, I think, March 10th. Right? March 10th I went home?
Wow.
Maybe a couple weeks back.
Before we let you go here, because the 3:30 news is coming up, what do you want to say to the folks who are listening to this on 6:30 CHED, across northern Alberta, across into BC, down into the States, about the importance of supporting this building and the work that the doctors and the nurses and the rest of the staff do here?
You just won't know how much you need these people until you depend on them for everything. It's amazing what they do here.
Brian pointed out earlier that supporting the Mazankowski is essentially supporting our own selves. Selfishly, if you want to be selfish, you're supporting yourself because you might need them. You don't even know.
Kylie.
I didn't expect to be here.
Well, no, not at all. Kylie and Ryan joining us, Kylie and Ryan Pappenbrock joining us this afternoon with what an amazing story. And I'm so glad that everything has turned out just fine. I was teasing them. I wanted them to break. I was hoping that the kids were going to be here. They're like, no, we need a break. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and sharing your story.
Thank you.
There you go. It is the 6:30 CHED Heart Pledge Day from the Mazankowski. Those numbers 780-407-2200, 1-866-407-2211, and you can find us at heartpledgeday.ca. The 3:30 news straight up.
What do you